So, Ashley Young has signed for Inter. This is I don't know what to say, guys. It's one of those days that I'm really confused. I don't know what to feel, how to feel. It feels like a Banter era signing, to be honest, because he's a 34 years old wing back who, let's be honest, was a third choice at United now, behind Luke Shaw, behind Brandon Williams, the youngster. He's been on a decline for the past few years. Man United fans hate him, even though he was their captain for the past year. And now he forced a move to get a 6-month contract at Inter, with a contract running to June 2020, and then with an option to extend for a year. So, you know, for 6 months, a year and a half, whatever you want to call it. We paid around 1.3, 1.5 million to Man United for his services. I mean, what is that all about? I mean, I trust Antonio Conte blindly. He's my commander, he's my sergeant. I would go to war for him, I would do anything for him. And it looks like Ausilio Marotta doing anything for him to accommodate him, to make him happy. But the wing back position seemed like, you know, was on the position that we didn't really need, you know, urgent attention to. It was the midfield and the Lukaku backup. And then we somehow end up signing a wing back. And then also, is it the right wing back? A 34-year-old wing back on the decline. Now, yeah, obviously you can tell I'm not happy, but I know Antonio Conte will work his magic with Ashley Young. You know, Ashley Young technically is not a bad player. He knows how to whip a ball in. He can play on both wings. He's pretty good with both feet, left and right foot. That used to be, you know, one of his great attributes when he was younger, when he used to be a winger, when he used to play for Aston Villa, Man United and England. He used to be, you know, one of those wingers that you don't know which way he's gonna go because he's so good on both feet. But then, you know, he moved, as for his career progressed, he moved back, further and further back. Went to right back, now left back mainly, predominantly. I'm not sure which side Conte is looking to play him, but with Lazaro going out on loan now, it looks like he might be the one challenging Candreva for the right wing back spot. And then the Lazaro thing is another thing that's confusing me. I mean, you know, the only guy with some sauce on our team, you know, with a bit of fashion sense, obviously that's not a reason to keep him. But still, you know, he was showing me some positive signs. Obviously, it took some time to get into the team. He missed a lot of pre-season due to injury. We signed him for around 22, 25 million from Hertha Berlin, from the Bundesliga. Obviously, he needs some time to get used to the league, Antonio Conte, his teammates, Italy's lifestyle, the language. And it just it's baffling to me that we're sending him out on loan. Apparently Newcastle and West Ham are the most interested. There's some teams in Italy also interested. But yeah, I would have given him a chance. You know, 6 months in, now we have to give Ashley Young 6 months to get used to the Italian league, the Italian coach, Antonio Conte. Although Antonio Conte in his press conference today said the wing-back position is actually the easiest position to learn in my system. Which is true, because it's literally up and down, up and down. The whole match is not like the midfielders who have very certain specific movements they have to make. The wing-back position in Antonio Conte team is come back to make it a 5 when we're defending. Make sure you're strong, make sure you're active, and then when we're attacking, make sure you offer yourself with width and try to create something from those wide areas. Lazaro can do all those things. You know, he didn't look too bad defensively. Obviously, that was his weakness, but I never felt like, okay, he's like a massive weak spot when he played. And then going forward, he's a breath of fresh air. You know, one of the few players in the team who's looking to beat players 1v1. He's looking to create chances, and when he plays on the right, he was actually one of the few players that can try to sort of do something different rather than always go on the outside. He likes to come inside and try to create something, try to create 1-2s and other combinations. And yeah, this pace and athleticism I thought would have been great, you know, to bring on in some matches, and it just offers something a bit different compared to Candreva, who's obviously aging, not as quick as he used to be, and he even plays on the left sometimes. Yes, sometimes, you know, he's come on and not performed that well, but you know, it feels a bit harsh, this whole treatment. And I really see it as a waste if he goes to, you know, the likes of Newcastle or someone like that in the Premier League who's, you know, battling for relegation. If he goes, I'd rather see him go to, you know, like a Torino team who play the similar 3-5-2, 3-4-3 formation that we play. So, you know, in terms of getting more and more used to the Italian league and getting used to that role, I think I would prefer him to go there. But also, you know, you can see it by Lazaro's, you know, Lazaro's terms. He's got the Euros coming up with Austria. So obviously he wants some playing time as well, so you can't really blame him there. Now, the other interesting development that we've had over the last couple of days, obviously with Inter, is never boring, is with Roma, the Spinazzola-Politano deal. What an absolute comedy, what an absolute joke that was on both ends. But Roma, they shafted us with the Dzeko deal in the summer, if you remember. We pretty much agreed, personal terms with Dzeko, and it looked like, there was not much difference between Inter and Roma's valuation. But in the end, he ended up signing a new deal with them, and they wanted like 20-25 million for a 33-year-old striker. I guess this is like the way Inter have got back to them, because everything is agreed. Spinazzola on the way to Inter, Politano on the way to Roma. Great move for both players, especially Politano, who's not getting used to the 3-5-2 formation. There was no space for him. Antonio Conte clearly didn't rate him in that forward position, and there was no other real position where he could play in. Mainly substitute appearances at Roma. With Zaniolo's injury, he would be pretty much starting most of the time, because Under has been underperforming this season. And Spinazzola, would have been an instant upgrade on Biraghi. Can play on both wings, athletic, which is quite rare for an Italian player. But he's injury prone. I had my concerns when we first announced the deal was happening, and then obviously Inter had their concerns as well, where they did a medical, and then Antonio Conte and the team decided that they want to do an extra fitness test for Spinazzola, which wasn't part of the deal. Roma flipped out and they said, no, we're not doing this, blah blah blah. We tried to change the deal from a loan with obligation to a loan with option to buy, tied down to a specific number of appearances for both players, around 16 I think it was. And Roma just cut the deal. They said, no, not doing this. And Politano comes back. Apparently he was in tears at one point when he was coming back, because Politano grew up in Roma youth system, and it was his dream to play for the Roma first team, and it didn't happen. And Spinazzola, well, he didn't look like he was particularly heartbroken when he was coming. He didn't look like he was really ecstatic anyway. So in the end we didn't really lose out that much. But apparently the whole Giroud deal is hanging on us offloading Politano, to free up the cash, to free up that role in the team. And Giroud, again, we've pretty much agreed everything with the player. Apparently there's not much difference between us and Chelsea. We're offering 5 million, they want like 6 or 7, so not much difference there left. I think a few bonuses might do it, but it's not going to happen unless we get rid of someone. And this is where Beppe Marotta and Ozilio need to get to work, because we need to offload someone before we keep adding all these players. We're adding all this depth, but we're going to end up having too many players, and we don't want to end up like Juve, having such a high salary, so many high salaries, and then ending up struggling to get rid of these players, and then ending up not being able to bring in players because we have such high salaries. Also, obviously the main hot deal, that's the main hot topic for January, has been Christian Eriksen, at the front page of every single newspaper in Italy and England. We are doing everything that we can. Marotta had dinner with Eriksen's agent in Milan the other day. Personal terms with the player are done. Apparently either for January or summer. The boy says he's coming to Inter. A Danish player will be at Inter this either January or summer. I'm pretty confident with this one. But Tottenham, Daniel Levy is not an easy guy to deal with. I call him the English version of Lotito, the Lazio president, because these two, they do not negotiate on their price. Once they set a price, that's the price that you're paying. They don't really budge from that. Tottenham won 20 million for Eriksen. We offered 10 plus bonuses. We're moving up slowly, apparently to around 12 to 15 plus bonuses. But then, Tottenham are still sticking to the 20. But I'm confident that will get done. But it needs to be done quicker. Other teams might swoop in, the likes of PSG, who can offer higher wages. So we can't rest on our laurels there. Eriksen, top player. I've said it enough times, he would elevate the team's technical level instantly. Set piece specialist. I can't wait to have a player like that in our team. And some people really underrate his physical, running stamina qualities. He's in 2018-19, he was the highest average runner for Tottenham for their matches. And he's very underrated in that quality. Pochettino teams are known to be high pressers, intense pressing, and that's what Conte wants as well, and that's what Eriksen is used to. Obviously the last few months, I would ignore Eriksen's last few months. He's been a bum, and Tottenham fans want him out for that reason. His heart has not been at Tottenham. Like Lukaku last year with Man United, we need to save the boy is in sad boy season mode at the moment. You can see when you see his face, he's just not, you know, his heart's not in it at Tottenham right now. So we need to come in and save the day for him and bring him in to elevate that midfield. You know, Barella, Sensi, Brozovic, Eriksen, what a midfield that's going to be. And, you know, I can't wait to see that happen. But we need to get a hurry on. Not long left in the transfer window. I'm confident in Marotta and Auxilio. I'm confident that, you know, whoever we bring in, Conte will, you know, even if it's Victor Moses, who's another one that's been linked now after the Spinazzola deal collapsed. You know, he has been injury prone this season. He was on loan to Fenerbahce in Turkey. But again, you know, he's a Conte. He has these weird fetishes, man. What can I say? Like, this guy is part and parcel of having Antonio Conte. He wants these weird players, but somehow he gets the best out of them, so I can't even complain. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think of this whole January transfer window? Are you happy with how it's going? And, you know, what do you rate it until now? Until now, obviously, I can't give it more than a 5 out of 10 because, you know, we haven't completed any of the signings that we really need at the moment. That Ashley Young one just seems like, you know, something that an opportunistic signing. You know, he was available, he wants to leave. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, who would you guys sign? You know, it could be someone else that, you know, you recommend for the midfield. We've been linked, you know, with the Udinese De Paul as well. Arturo Vidal, that seems to be a bit dead in the water now because of the Barcelona changing manager, so let's see how that develops. Don't forget about Arturo Vidal. Yeah, make sure to leave a like. You can see today, no mic. I've got the new Blue Yeti mic, so hopefully the sound quality is better. I can move around, do whatever I want. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Post Inter Lecce match. Ciao.